the use of fentanyl has led Senator Roger Marshall to Southeast Kansas. I'm Jalen Banks with more.
Plus, a Joplin man is sentenced for child sex crimes. And it's election day in Oklahoma for the primary runoffs.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Senator Roger Marshall was in Southeast Kansas today for a roundtable discussion on the growing concern of fentanyl use in Kansas. KOAM's Jalen Banks has more on why some are calling it an epidemic.
Today in Pittsburgh, Crawford County Sheriff's Department, local health professionals, and Senator Roger Marshall met today having a roundtable discussion on the ongoing concern of fentanyl use in the state of Kansas.
We're starting to see a lot of it in Southeast Kansas, and I think it's very important that we meet with our partners statewide, federal-wise, locally, because we're going to have to combat this.
According to the DEA, fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. And the senator office shares that 149 of 338 overdose deaths in Kansas that happened in the first half of 2021 were fentanyl related.
It's getting worse every day. We want to get here and share the message that just taking even one half of a pill can kill. So with school starting up, we're trying to get the message out across the state how dangerous fentanyl is.
Numbers of fentanyl recoveries have increased at the community health center.
Keep in mind, these are folks who aren't scheduled to come in. These are people who have heard about what CHC does and want help. And so this isn't something that you can coordinate. This isn't something that we know is going to happen. I will get called out of meetings to go help with somebody who's in opioid withdrawal. So these are people who just have heard about us and want to change their lives.
The Crawford County Sheriff's Department plans to continue to educate people on the drug in hopes that will be the main reason people stay away from it. In Pittsburgh, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
All of the Crawford County Sheriff's Department has Narcan nasal spray. It's a medicine they can use to treat someone suffering from ill effects of fentanyl. A judge has sentenced a Joplin man convicted of child sex crimes who then cut off his ankle monitor and fled for a year, left the state. 51-year-old Robert Shields was convicted of 4 charges, including child molestation, statutory sodomy, 2 counts of statutory rape. The victim endured the abuse for years, starting at the age of 7. Shields was sentenced to life in prison and still faces charges in Berry County, Missouri. Oklahoma voters today are deciding runoff elections in cases where no candidate got more than 50% of the vote in the primary. Races today include Republican and Democratic runoffs for a U.S. Senate seat and the race for the Republican nomination for U.S. House in Oklahoma's 2nd District. Other state offices are also on the ballot. Polls close at 7 tonight, and we're going to have the results on KOAM News at 10. You can also go to our website and KOAM News app to results for the Oklahoma primary runoff election at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. The website includes resources for all of the 4 state areas, such as polling places, deadlines, dates. You can even check to see if you're registered to vote for November. Once again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice day outside for us today. If you are getting outside over the next couple hours, the evening hours look fantastic. We have pretty much clear skies across the region. Thankfully, the humidity has been low over the past couple days. Any clouds, any rain, you got to travel south down through parts of Oklahoma into Arkansas, the remnants of the tropical system that affected the southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Our temperature's pretty good. Nevada 86, we got 85 in Neosho, Miami 86, a little bit hotter once you get out toward Parsons. Independence, Fredonia throughout the evening hours will slide back through the 80s, 70s, and then again tonight, very pleasant. Overnight lows mainly down into the mid-60s across the region. We do have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. In Oklahoma City, a deputy remains in stable condition tonight following a shooting yesterday. Another deputy, Sergeant Bobby Swartz, died from his wounds. 35-year-old Benjamin Plank is now in jail. He's charged with first-degree murder, shooting with intent to kill, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and shooting from a vehicle. A neighborhood was shocked seeing the events unfold. Reporter Felice Romero has reactions from witnesses.
Yeah, I was working on my razor. I heard boom, boom, boom.
A routine day on the job turns a quiet, family-friendly neighborhood upside down.
Go down here, turn around, and cops start zooming. I'm like, what? So I get up, go out there in the front yard, go look. I'm like, okay, like what is going on?
We don't ever have problems like that. We never have issues like this.
Two deputies serving eviction papers in a neighborhood off Southwest 78th Street when suddenly.
And my neighbors, they was like, yeah, dude, like somebody just got into an altercation like with the cops. He shot a cop. I'm like, what? That's crazy.
It's shocking because we had never experienced anything like this. And right now we're like, we can't even go home.
Neighbors flocking to the unusual sight of crime tape around their block.
Everybody's like quiet here. Everybody has kids. Like the kids are always playing around, in their bikes or riding their scooters. It's shocking.
Tyler Carter saw the scene unfold, only to get a text from his daughter's school that they were being placed on a brief lockdown.
If it would have been maybe 2 hours later, we would have had kids everywhere out here.
The crime scene still up hours after the suspect was taken into custody.
Thinking of my brother, because that's where we pick him up at. So I was just like, how am I going to get over there to get him? And he has no phone, like he's a little boy.
The sheriff's spokesperson declined to release the wounded deputy's name. Coming up, the Independence, Kansas Police Department trains officers for their Take Me Home program. Plus, students at Pitt State meet the community at a PSU. The Independence, Kansas Police Department is asking for your help in providing leads and closing cases. Operation Private Eyes is a program for people to volunteer video footage from businesses or private security cameras when there's a crime. Anyone who volunteers to participate will be contacted by the police department about crimes in their area. Doesn't cost anything, and you don't have to register to provide video information. To find out how to enroll, just go to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. The Independence Police Department is also training officers on how to help people with cognitive disorders. The department's Take Me Home program will help officers assist someone whose cognitive disorder prevents them from telling where they live or who's responsible for them. The program started in 2017 and has since improved the interactions between the community and the police department.
I think it's a great resource because it's a real fear for families to realize suddenly that a member is missing. And it gets even more complicated when that person doesn't communicate or is nonverbal.
Program is free and it's open to Independence residents. Students at PSU got the opportunity to meet the community and learn about clubs at the university. KOAM's Yana Hautala took a visit to the Pitt State Community Fair and has more.
Local businesses and groups gathered on the Oval to meet with PSU students. New and older students were excited to meet new people and get free things from the booths.
You can have snacks here, t-shirts. Snacks are the best part, yeah.
A senior emphasizes the importance of this event, where she also met with different clubs the past few years.
I think it's important to have the different businesses and available resources to kind of make themselves known to students, especially to first-time students who might not even know about all this happening right now.
They are trying to have a conversation with us, so it's very good, yeah. I'm trying to get to the people, yeah.
The fair is a great way for students to get to know some businesses around here. Some students have developed some connections that last for a long time. A local bookstore owner has good experience from the fair. She gained a great connection who she is still working with.
Met last year at this fair, and he has been sort of our house artist, our artist in residence, if you will.
A PSU student saw the possibility to partner with a local business.
He just came up and just introduced himself to me, and he said he has, he's an artist and he had his card, and I checked out his work on Instagram, and I think he stopped by the store maybe like a week later, and we just got to talking.
With the connection, the business owner gained a great friendship as well.
Pieces that really were representative of what we had going on at the store at the time, and so it's really kind of almost like a little bit of a collaborative relationship too.
In Pittsburgh, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
You can find a link to the bookstore and art at KOAMnewsnow.com. Arvest Bank in Joplin today announced a new credit card design for blind and low vision customers. The card will have features written in Braille, such as the cardholder's name, also the number, expiration date, and security code. Arvest also offers Braille account statements and ATMs. Arvest says customers can receive a new Braille card at any branch location or by calling them. A little bit later, the Oswego Indians prepare for their season opener in less than 2 weeks. We'll have details in sport.
Plus, we have some rain chances back in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice day for us today. Temperatures mainly into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and we had quite a bit of sunshine. Nice shot. This is our tower cam on the southeast side of the city. Lander Chevrolet, and you can see a few little cumulus clouds out there, but traffic moving pretty well east and westbound on Interstate 44. And it looks like as we go through the evening hours, we're going to shape up pretty good. All right, no rain for the past couple days, but for the month, we're doing okay. We're at 2.5 inches. It's just been a very dry summer, especially June and July. We've only picked up 5 3/4 inches of rain the entire summer, so we could use a little bit more. We've hit 100 22 times, which is the 6th most since records began. The most, 39 times in 1954. But the new pattern is setting up, so this is good. We're starting to see a few changes. We haven't hit 100 in over a week, which is good news. Outside right now, 84 in Stockton, 85 in Anderson, Bonita checking in at 88. Still 92 in Chanute and Neodesha, sitting at 91 degrees. We have these light easterly, northeasterly winds, and because they're out of the east-northeast, we're not getting much in the way of humidity, so it feels pretty good outside. 7th and range line currently sitting at 88. Northeasterly winds are light. Relative humidity is at 36%. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 80s, 70s, eventually very comfortable once again down into the mid-60s for overnight lows. And we're going to stay dry. We'll definitely stay dry over the next couple days. Not much going on here. You have to travel south before you find any rain. Southern Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas. This is the leftover tropical moisture from the system that affected Texas over the weekend, gave them over a foot of rain, but there's just nothing organized going on. Our jet stream very weak across the northern parts of the plains, so until that organizes, we're not going to get any big storm systems into the area. So pretty quiet, pretty boring. We'll start out in the 60s, 86 by noon, 90 by 5, high temp, 91. Very similar to what we did see today. Let's go hour by hour. Through the overnight hours, we're going to stop at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Mid-60s, pretty much clear skies. Quick warm-up through the 60s, 70s, mid-80s by noon, and we should make it up right around 90, 91 degrees. A little bit hotter in our western counties, Yates Center, Independence, Nowata, mid-90s during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, much the same. We drop back mid-60s, and then as we go into Thursday, temperatures not too hotter. I think most of us lower 90s and then mid 90s once you get into our western counties. We're not going to really see any changes until we get a little bit closer to the weekend. Friday, kind of mid to upper 90s. Finally, some rain chances in here by the time the weekend rolls around. Pretty quiet. Next couple days, 91 tomorrow, 93 Thursday, 94 on Friday. We hold into the 90s through the beginning of next week, but we do have those rain chances, and it looks like our best shot late Sunday into Monday, and then late Monday into Tuesday. So that's good news.
We could use more, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the St. Louis Cardinals hit the field today for a doubleheader against the rival Cubs, and the Oswego Indians aim to bounce back from their first losing season in 5 years. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Oswego Indians are less than 2 weeks away from their first game of the season. Oswego kicks off their schedule on September 2nd at home against Marmaton Valley. Now, the Indians looking to bounce back this fall after going 3-6 overall last season. That's actually their first sub-500 season since 2017. Now, the good news for Oswego is they got a lot of good players back from last year. They returned 6 starters on each side of the ball. Those guys, as well as some younger players, are looking forward to getting things turned around after injuries, COVID, and a few other things made 2021 a bit of a bumpy season.
Last year was difficult for a number of reasons. Some of those factors were inside our control, and a lot of them were outside our control. We battled kind of an avalanche of adversity last year, and obviously with that, though, we learned that we've got to work harder, we've got to get better, and you know, we've responded really well to that so far. We had the best weights attendance that we've had since I've been here this summer, and you know, not just attendance, it wasn't just showing up, it was showing up with a purpose too.
That's all we could think about is all the tragic losses and all that happened last year. We're looking pretty solid so far. We just have a lot of new guys and new spots, and they're looking pretty good so far.
The St. Louis Cardinals have won 8 games in a row. The Cards beat the rival Cubs 1-0 last night in Game 1 of their 5-game series. St. Louis and Chicago play a doubleheader today for Games 2 and 3. Here's Game 1. Paul Goldschmidt, grounder to the right side. DJ Higgins comes home with it, gets Lars Nootbaar at the plate. Game's still scoreless. Second inning, Javier Assad strikes out Albert Pujols. Pujols 1 for 4 today, still setting on 693 career home runs. Well, it's 2-0 Cubs in the 7th inning, 2 on for Nolan Arenado, but he would pop out to end the inning. St. Louis, 5 hits in this one. They didn't score. Cubs take Game 1 2-0. So in Game 2 of the doubleheader, Cards trying to get the bats going and split the day. That one will begin in about 35 minutes or so. Jake Woodford gets the start on the mound for the Cardinals. As for the Kansas City Royals, they're at home tonight, opening a 2-game set against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Royals trying for back-to-back wins for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. That one will get started at 7:10. We'll have the latest from this one and that Cardinals-Cubs game tonight at 10. So now back to the Oswego Indians. Always have a good time being around that team. Less than 2 weeks away from their season opener. I know they're going to get things going, turned around.
Everybody starts the season undefeated. The trick
Exactly.
is staying that way. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. John McCrae Sr. served in the U.S. Army Air Corps. The Little Rock, Arkansas native received 2 Purple Hearts. And we are proud to salute John McCrae Sr., a 4-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes, thousands of them from all across this area. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple. You just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have results from today's Oklahoma runoff elections. Also, a letter from the National Archives reveals what it had retrieved from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in January, the discovery alarming the Justice Department. And a group of teachers formed their own rock and roll band. That and a lot more tonight, KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. It's going to stay hot for a while.
It is. It's summertime still. We're in the last stretch of August. 91 tomorrow, 93 on Thursday, 94 on Friday. At least the humidity's not going to be that bad. And then rain chances, they sneak in as we head into the weekend.
And the overnight lows, pretty comfortable. Final sports note.
The Kansas City Chiefs will play their final preseason game of the year on Thursday, then final roster cuts to get the roster down to 53 next Thursday. We're going to hear from Andy Reid on that process tonight at 10.
They just need to get through the preseason with no more injuries. Get everybody healthy to start the season.
Everybody's goal, right?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.